सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। वासुदेवेन्द्रयोगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधो विधीयते। Last time we were discussing about Panchakoshas, 5 sheets, 5 coverings, 5-fold hiding the self. And we saw that Annamaya, then we saw Pranamaya. Now the next one is Manomaya. The question is Manomaya kaha. Last time we saw Pranamaya is that accounts for all physiological functions, that which keeps the body alive, or that which gives the energy to the body, and where its own modification, prana modifications, gives energy to the body and it keeps going. Manomaya kaha. What is the Manomaya kosha? Manomaya, here again, Mayaha is modification. What is the modification of mind? Kosha, that is modification of mind. The answer is Manascha Gnanendriya Panchakam Militva Yo Bhavati Saha Manomaya Kosha. Mind and Gnanendriya Panchakam, the 5 organs of sense of perception. Panchakam means all the 5 together, along with, is Manomaya Kosha. That is called modification of mind, and that is called Kosha. Okay? This Manomaya Kosha includes mind and senses, and of course the senses themselves cannot and do not function without the mind. By the way, people say you should control your sense organs. That says sometimes there is some truth in that particular statement, but senses are like the servants, and the mind is like the clerk or supervisor, which gives the orders to the servants. Senses on their own do not function. On their own, they do not go to Vishayas. On their own, they do not want to experience the sense objects. It is a mind that orders them. Now, what happens? There is a modification of the mind. Mind undergoes certain change, relevant change, relevant to the perception, relevant to a given experience, relevant to given memory. All that changes, it takes place. The mind is never the same. It is changing. Therefore, it is called Manomaya. Now, what is Manaha? In English, as I said last time, there is only one word for mind. There is only one word called mind for manaha and buddhi. Here in Sanskrit, we have two distinct words, manaha, buddhischa. What is manaha? The seat of emotions, the seat of instincts, seat of doubts and volitions is called manaha. So those feelings, emotions, both have, feeling of love and compassion and care and etc., hatred, anger, jealousy, frustration, etc. All these emotions are included in manaha. Then all the memories are also included in manaha. Of course, for memory we have separate word, chittam, mano, buddhi, ahankar, chittan. So chittam, but still when it is manomaya koshaha, it includes all memories and all doubts and volitions. Sankalpa vikalpa. Can this be this or can it be otherwise? No, no, no. It should be like this or it was like this. All kinds of those yes, no feeling is again modification of the mind. This is manomaya kosha. Now look at the next one. We'll just go through the definition and then I'll explain the whole thing little later once we are done with these three definitions. Vijnanamaya kaha. Then he says, what is a Vijnanamaya? So that is buddhi, buddhihi gnanendriya panchakam militva yo bhavati saha Vijnanamaya kosha. What is the sheath which is the modification of intellect? Vijnana means here it is in sense of intellect. The sheath, or you can say intellectual sheath, intellect sheath. But the actual definition is the sheath which is the modification of intellect. Now, the answer is intellect with the five senses of perception. That is the modification of intellect, and that is a sheath. Now, let us understand what is buddhi and what is intellect. Intellect is a cognitive faculty, faculty to know, faculty to infer, faculty of abstraction, faculty of decision. There will definition will come later on when we'll talk about the creation. The definition is Nishchayatmika Buddhi. Buddhi means what? Nishchayatmika Antakarana Vrittihi Buddhi. There may be a doubt or there may be a perception, and when your understanding is clear, when your vision is clear, and the doubt is resolved, when you come to conclusion, that conclusion is buddhi. Okay? Now, what happens? This here also five senses of perceptions are included. They bring a stimuli to you. Okay? So when I see an object, the mind undergoes necessary change. In Shastric language, it is called vrittihi. A standard example, they say, when you see a pot, there is a pot in Sanskrit called ghataha, there is a ghatakara vrittihi. There is a thought modification corresponding to the form and the shape of the pot. When you hear the words, there is a thought modification corresponding to the sound. And if you have background of the language, you understand the sound. So when you see something, when you hear something, when you smell something, the antakaranam undergoes modification respectively. That respectively means then the modification is in order to objectify that object. There is a change, and that is called vritti. That vritti, the thought form, has an object, pot. Thought form has an object, my words. Thought form has an object called my face or my background in the books, or I have your face and your background, etc. Now, that is where the role of buddhi comes in. The corresponding a thought form, generally true to the object outside, is recognized. If there is a conclusion about that object, when you see this object, the recognition occurs in the buddhi. Yes, this is a book. This is such and such a person. That conclusion that this is a book, the conclusion that this is a person, that definitive knowledge, nishchayatmika vrittihi, that is buddhi. Sometimes when you see somebody, then immediately conclusion arises. Oh, here is that person. Then there is another possibility. Having said this is a person, there is a doubt whether he is the same person or someone else. This often happens in India when you go to somebody's house or somewhere, there are plastic fruits and plastic flowers. They look so good. You say, wow, what a fresh apple, what a fresh orange. You sing like that. Or you say, what a good rose, fresh and big rose. It looks so nice. Then suddenly you realize this fellow lives in apartment and he is not that rich that he can afford this. Where did he get that? This may not be the real rose. This may not be the real orange. This may not be the real flower, whatever. You know, when you go near, touch it with your hand or smell it, then you say, yeah, this is plastic. Sometimes they put fragrance in it. So you may get fragrance also, but still there is a doubt. And then you touch it. And sometimes when you touch also, there sometimes is a doubt. Nowadays they make so tender, the plastic also appears to be real. So you try to pluck it. Typical Indian thinking is you pluck and eat. When you try to pluck it, you cannot pluck it because the plastic tied to this plastic stick, then you realize there is a doubt-free knowledge. There is a doubt-free conclusion. That which is done by inner faculty and Tattvaranam, that is called buddhi. Okay? That is buddhi. Now, as I said, mind is a seat of emotions. Mind is a seat of instinct, memory, etc. Buddhi is a seat of knowledge. This knowledge is twofold. Buddhi has a conclusion, or you can say cognition, or you can say knowledge about the world outside, and there is a knowledge about who am I as well. There is a conclusion about oneself. And in one word, with reference to this Panchakosha description, I can say that conclusion is what I am the doer, I did it, I am doing it, and I shall do this or that. The sense of doership, that karta, is included in buddhi. Buddhi undergoes change all the time, both about the karta also and about the jagat also. The karta, the doer, is sometimes eater, the doer is sometimes walker, the doer sometimes is seer, thinker, etc. Different years to all that are doing different activities is always done by this individual So I think I am a doer, and I have few conclusions about the world. That is called Vijnana Maya Kosha. Up to this. Now let us go to the next one. And then as I said, I'll cover up all the three and then explain you further. Anandamaya Kaha. What is the Anandamaya Kosha? It says, Evameva Karana Sharira Bhuta Avidyastha Malina Sattvam Priyadi Vritti Sahitam Sat Anandamaya Kosha. Etat Kosha Panchakam. I will repeat the Sanskrit word, so you may put comma down below. So if you want to break while reading, you can understand. Anandamaya Kaha Evameva Karana Sharira Bhuta Avidyastha Malina Sattvam Priyadi Vritti Sahitam Sat Anandamaya Kosha. Etat Kosha Panchakam. Okay. What is this? Avidyastha. That which is abiding in ignorance. Okay. That which is born out of ignorance, or that which is in the form of ignorance. Avidyastha Karna Sharira Bhuta. That which is causal body. Okay. Thus, that which is its abidance in the form of ignorance, which was referred as a causal body, Karna Shariram, in the earlier discussion, and Malina Sattvam, which is impure Sattva, and that Priyadi Vritti Sahitam, it is along with Vritti, the thought modifications, called as Priya, etc., is Anandamaya Kosha, and thus is Kosha Panchakam. Here Maya is again like same meaning. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. So this is as though modification of Ananda. In fact, it is not as though, it is not really modification of Ananda. It is the same Ananda that is you, the Swarupa, the degree of Ananda, the experience of Ananda. That experience of Ananda varies, the degrees varies, it changes, and the changes or the variation depend upon the inhibition, the types and the degree of inhibition that changes. We have, look at this one, Priyadi Vritti Sahitam. Just varieties of happiness, or not varieties, but the degrees of happiness. For that, we have three words: Priya, Modha, Pramoda. Such degrees are, and I mean, it is so much of very thing, you cannot count it. But still, traditionally, we have these three words to express the degrees of human Ananda. What is Priya? The Priya means what? The thought of that particular object makes sometimes happy. When you think of it, when you remember it, it makes you happy. Or when you see it, it makes you happy. First, I want to buy Apple Watch. I am buying new iPad Pro. That thought itself gives happiness. Next month I am buying, and I go to Apple store, and then I see that is Priya. What is moda? To possess that beloved, the desired object. That's a different degree. I see and become happy, and I own and I become happy. That's a moda. When I have actual physical possession or ownership of that vastu, that makes the person happy. You know, I am going to America for vacation, or I got H1 visa. Now I applied for green card, my company sponsored, and this year my name will come. And you get a notification that you got the green card, and the green card is received, the joy. iPad Pro is received, the joy. New car, when you have that car parked in your house, new joy, in your garage. Even new bicycle for a child, there is a joy. Priya, then this is moda, possessing, and pramoda, actually experience. I got the iPhone, then I loaded the iPhone, understood all operations, and started using from the next day. There is a joy. Bought the car, it is in my name, and then I started driving the car. I started using the things. There is a different degree of sukham, ananda. So priya, moda, pramoda, vritti sahitam. There are, as I said, varieties of vrittis. Different degrees of ananda, but this is called priya, moda, pramoda. It's just to indicate. Now look at this. That buddhi has a conclusion. I am the doer. The doer, the karta, I, the doer, does the thing not for the sake of doing. I do it to enjoy for ananda. Means, like, I go out and buy the ice cream and bring the ice cream at home, put the ice cream in the fridge. All this activity is done by the doer so that I can eat and enjoy the ice cream. So the karta keeps doing varieties of things. I, the karta, there are not two persons, but I, the karta, keeps doing varieties of things because that flip side of karta is bhokta, the enjoyer. That bhokta seems to be the basic person for whom all sense organs and buddhi and the mind and the prana and everybody is working. So I have some free will to do, and even if I don't have free will, it is for the bhokta. And that bhokta wants to become sukhi. That bhokta wants to get rid of dukkham. I don't want to be dukhi. I want to be sukhi. That is a basic person for whom all the activities takes place, all relationships takes place, all connections, all purchases takes place. It is only or only for bhokta. That bhokta wants it, and therefore that karta keeps doing it. As I said, bhokta is a basic person. And that basic thing or basic urge is what? I want to be happy. I want to be free from bondage. I want to be free from limitations. That is the bhokta. So, when I become happy, there is an urge to retain happiness. When there is some satisfaction, there is a urge to hold on to that satisfaction. That is how the life goes on. Okay? And this anand, there is ananda in all that. Bhokta wants to be happy, and bhokta becomes happy. Therefore, it is called Ananda Maya Kosha. It is all modifications, or you can say different degrees of joy. Now let's come to the conclusion. All the five koshas. Earlier, once I had mentioned, but I would repeat again, mention it. These are called kosha, not in a real sense. They are not coverings in a literal sense. They really don't cover the self for two reasons. The thing to be covered should be smaller in size than the thing which covers it. The cover should be bigger than the covered vastu. Now, when you say the self is limitless, how can it be covered? You cannot have double limitless cover to cover this single limitless Atma. Limitless is limitless. Secondly, self is formless. How can you cover something which is formless, which is limitless? Therefore, the actual meaning of here word kosha is koshaha eva kosha. The result of the kosha is the same. I mean, the result is same by then. The result of these all five, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya, is same as that of the kosha, which covers something. Here, there is no physical covering. The covering is only in a sense of ignorance. Okay? What kind of ignorance? That is a peculiar ignorance, that you tend to take all these as I. You take when you pranamaya, like annamaya is a kosha. As I said, everything you eat is converted into bioenergy, and that dissolvable energy by which, and it is digestible energy form, and it is passed on to different limbs, and it gets digested. It gets assimilated in the body, and it gets converted into energy, etc. So this is how annam comes to body. Now, how do you say this is kosha? Because when you take that body as I, that annamaya, this body which is annavikara, somehow creates a sense that I am body, and therefore annamaya is kosha. It is like saying, somebody says, my God, I am 80 kg. I am 80 kg. I am 60 kg. All that one says, the weight actually belongs to the body. But the characteristic of the body, gunas of the body, are imputed upon the self. All these five, as such, nobody says, I am Annamaya. But the attributes of Annamaya, namely the bodies, tall, short, black, white, aged, middle-aged, young, etc., are attributed to the self. And that is why they are called kosha. Pranamaya kosha. How it is pranamaya is kosha? I am hungry, I am thirsty, I am limping because I have some knee problem, etc. I can't eat because I have digestive problem. These are all functions of prana. They are imputed upon me. When the functions are proper, oh, I can digest everything. That is one thing. So also manomaya. Manomaya means what? When the mind is mistaken to be I. What is the mind taken to be I? There are emotions of anger, frustration, jealousy, pain, hurt, or happiness. Emotions of love, compassion, care. All this is taken upon myself. I say I am angry, I am frustrated, I am loving, I am caring, etc., etc. Things that is taken as I. That is why it is called Manomaya Kosha. Manomaya becomes Kosha. Without really covering the Atma, somehow, without covering Atma, please understand, Atma means I, the self. It never covers the self, but somehow creates a I sense in in Manomaya. So also the I sense is there in Buddhi. I am the doer, I am the knower, I am engineer, I am doctor, I am wise, I am very intelligent, etc., etc. That I sense is imputed upon Buddhi. The self, which are nothing but the attributes of intellect, Antahkara, Buddhi. That is why that is called Koshaha. And Anandamaya Koshaha, that to say I am Sukhi, I am Dukhi, not only simply Dukhi, I am Mahadukhi, I want to become Sukhi, and having become relatively Sukhi, I want to become Mahasukhi, I want to retain this happiness. All this search or urge or the pursuit of happiness is born out of a conclusion that I am Dukhi, that I am incomplete, that I am unhappy. That is why you look for happiness. And that is to be unhappy is like holding on to hot potato. I don't want to be unhappy. And that is why it's called Koshaha. It is called Anandamaya Koshaha. There is a self-ignorance. There is a ignorance with oneself that I am never unhappy. On the contrary, I am Ananda Swarupa. But somehow I am taken as Dukhi and I am waiting for some Sukha, some Vishaya Sukha, some happiness born out of the objects makes me happy, and I keep looking forward to Priya, Moda and Pramoda Vrittis. So these all are called Koshaha because they as though deprive me of what I am reminded of beautiful episode that happened. I've heard so, how far I have not yet verified, in the life of great poet, Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore. It seems Rabindranath ji was writing a poetry. It was a beautiful monsoon evening, very cool and pleasant. It was cloudy, and he just late afternoon, he started writing, and he was enjoying the monsoon from the window and lost into his imagination. It little got dark, so he switched on the table lamp, which he had, and looking at the table lamp, and he was writing the poem. Looking at the book in the light of the lamp, and looking across the window a little bit here and there sometimes, but then more so focused on here and looking at the ceiling, and he was closing the eyes and he was lost in his imagination. And he completed the poem. After some time, it was quite late. When he completed the poem, he saw it was 9 o'clock. And there was a rule in the house that nobody would disturb Sri Rabindranath ji when he was lost in his imagination, because the flow will break. So they were waiting for him for dinner. So he saw the time, it was quite late, oh my God. So he shouted and asked, is the dinner ready? Yes, 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 we are waiting for dinner. Come on, come on, come, come. So he said, okay. Then he switched off the table lamp light and then turned around and switched off the room light and went for dinner. While he was going, he saw from the other window and the door that was a Purnima day and the clouds had gone away. Though it was a cloudy when he started writing, but somehow clouds had withered away and it was clear sky. It was full moon day and the Chandni, the moonlight, was spread all over outside. And he wrote a poem on moonlight in table light, table lamp light. So the table lamp light becomes a kosha. Understand? It's a sheath, as though it covers. He was so engrossed, he was so focused in that light, so focused or so lost in that imagination that he never saw the real moonlight which was there outside. He had written a poem on moonlight, but then the real moonlight was missed out. That is why it is called kosha. Understand? Kosha iva kosha. As though it covers. That table lamp light has no capacity to cover the entire moonlight. Moon or moonlight, any which way. But the glare or the focus of the light kept him looking at that light only, and he wrote the poem on moonlight without actually realizing that outside there is a moonlight available. Similarly, our attention, our buddhi or our attention is so focused on body, mind, etc. That is called Maya. How and why, there is no answer. Maya, one of the meaning of Maya means Ya Ma iti Maya. Ma means that which is not there. Okay, Ma means not mother. Yama iti Maya. That which is mother is Maya. No. That the father is also Maya for mother and for other. So that which is really not there. So moonlight can be called as Maya. I mean table lamp light. It took him away. How come I missed it? That was his question. Similarly, rishis have a question. He had a question after he really saw the moonlight. So rishis have a question, how come you miss yourself? How come you take yourself to be one of these Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya? It is not you. And then still we take it, therefore it is kosha. Swamiji, you may ask me, you said that it is not me. Yes. And then I added, in spite of you know that it is not me, still you take it. I don't think that I know it is not me. Yes, you know it. Our expressions, our interactions with the world and here and there, we say this, but somehow, in spite of saying, we don't live up to what we say. You know, we don't live up to what we say. In English, they say that is where you gloss over. You gloss. You don't look into it thoroughly. And that he explains in the next section. Look at this. Etat kosha panchakam. Earlier he said this is the five-fold sheath. What? Madiyam shariram. What is that five-fold sheath? Why it is sheath? It is explained. Madiyam shariram, Madiyaha pranaha, Madiyam manascha, Madiya buddhihi, Madiyam agnanam iti. Svenaiva gnayate tadyatha Madiyatvena gnatam kataka kundala gruhadikam swasmad bhinnam tatha panchakoshadikam madiyatvena gnatam atma na bhavati. I would read again the definition which is there in your book. Madiyam shariram, madiya prana, madiyam mana, madiya buddhi manas, madiya buddhi, madiyam agnanam iti svenaiva gnayate tadyatha madiyatvena gnatam kataka kundala gruhadikam swasmad bhinnam tatha panchakoshadikam madiyatvena gnatam atma na bhavati. Look at this. The whole discussion, some of you have joined late, where the discussion said Tattvaviveka Prakaram. That was the first sentence. I am going to tell you the discrimination about the truth. The need for discrimination arises only when two things are mixed up. It is often said that I am seeker of truth. I am trying to know the truth. And people meditate, saying that I am trying to know, realize the truth. Please understand, the truth or the vastu or the self or the consciousness is as though mixed up with something. The realization is nothing but discrimination. Experiencing the self, though they use the word, it is not another kind of experience. You can say more absorbing and more consoling and more fulfilling than the routine exam experiences. No. Though we say it is to be experienced, but it is to be discriminated. That is a vivek. Why? When there is a mistake, that mistake in a sense of error of taking one to be other, that needs to be addressed. There is a confusion between me and I, between mine and I. No, all these 5 koshas are referred often as mine. Just before 2-3 classes, I had mentioned when a child, for a baby onwards, or when you go to doctor, a matured person tells to doctor. Suppose he goes to ophthalmologist and he asks, what's the problem? Then he will say, my vision is hazy. My eyes seem to have more problem, and I think among the two, the right one has a problem. My right eye sometimes waters a lot. And sometimes when I close the left eye, I hardly could see anything very clearly. I mean, any with clarity, some formless things are there. But even the left eye also, I don't see them distinctly, but still some hazy things I can make out. You say my left eye, my right eye, you know. And then, suppose a fellow has no vision. That fellow says, I am blind. That which is referred as mine, somehow its status becomes my status. What you refer as mine, the status of that what you refer as mine need not become my status. Like a child, a 2-3-year-old baby, they have exercise, mom and dad, grandpa, that standard will teach. What is this? The child would say, head. No, tell the whole sentence. This is my head. These are my eyes. Granny or grandpa does the finger here. Then the child puts here and says, these are my eyes. These are my cheeks. This is my nose. This is my mouth. This is my chin. This is my chest. This is my right hand. This is my left hand. This is my stomach, tummy. These are my feet, or etc. Everything is referred as this. And then ask, who are you? Then you say, I am this whole body. What you refer to as this, or what you refer to as mind, cannot be I. And since it cannot be I, its gunas, its attributes cannot become my attribute. I own a Mercedes E-Class. I say this is my car. I don't become car. Much less if the car is black, I don't say I am black. Similarly, the body is referred as my body. Though we generally don't say I am body, but the attributes or qualities of the body is somehow imputed upon I. And I say I am male or female, I am middle-aged or young or old age, etc. I am black or white, I am thin or I am lean or thin, or I am fat, I am very heavy, etc., etc. That has to be addressed as I level. Please understand, self-knowledge is not that you do not know the self. True. And therefore don't go around looking for the self. Why? There is a self-confusion. The self is not only not known, but self is mistaken to be what it is not. What I am not is concluded. That is, I am taking this, and then you may not say what I am not, but their attributes are certainly imputed upon me. Mind is angry. They see, I know that the mind is angry, but then somehow I say I am angry. It is like Pujya Swamiji saying, this fellow came to him and he says, Swamiji, I am very angry now. Somehow, how to get rid of this anger? Just to teach him. So I say, oh, you are very angry. Yes, very. Anything happened or no, nothing happened, but I just remembered how I was treated in my childhood. I'm very angry with my parents. I'm angry. Oh, really? So what happened? I'm very much disturbed. Really? You see that just as I'm seeing, slowly the anger is rising. And it may go out of my control, therefore I want your help. Look at this sentence. I am seeing, I am knowing that anger is rising. And you say, I am angry. What is seen? What is known? What is mine? I say, my mind. Then how can I be the mind? When it is mine, it cannot be I. And when it is I, it cannot be mine. But somehow all this is considered to be mine. Everything is mine. That is I. That is Madiyaha Pranaha, Madiyam Manaha, Madiya Buddhihi, Madiyam Agnanam, Sarvam Madiyatvena Gnat. It is known that I am ignorant. You say I am ignorant, but you can as well say, though I think I don't seem to know this. I need to apply my mind to it to know this. That means Buddhi doesn't know. You know what Buddhi knows, and you know what Buddhi does not know also. So ignorance is also known. Thank God it is known. Therefore, you don't get into those zones about which you do not know anything. Otherwise, you would have jumped into the things which you don't know. You know it. Everything is mine, is known, but somehow taken as I. Madiyaha, how it is? Svenaiva gnayat. I know it myself. Swamiji used to make a story. That fellow says, I am angry, help me to get it. Swamiji would say, no, no, you are not angry. Swami, I am angry. No, you are not. I am telling you I am angry. No, no, you are. I am telling you I am angry. I say, Swami, you say, in my opinion, you don't seem to. How do you know you are angry? I see my anger. He'll say it with angry gesture. The Svenaiva gnayat. It is known to me and me only that I am hungry, I am thirsty, I have digestive problems, etc., etc., is known to me and me only. Svenaiva gnayat. How? Madiyam kundalam kataka kundaladikam. Madiyam kataka kundaladikam. Kataka means bracelet. Kundalam means earrings. Grihadikam, house. Your bracelet, your earrings or hand rings or bangles, anything you call it, or a home, are known as mine. Madiyatvena gnatam. Just as you know these things as mine, so also you know Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya is mine. But this is where the mistake stops. Anything beyond body, when it is known as mine, is never ever construed as I. However dear it may be, my wife, my son, my brother, my husband, never. You may not take it as mine. That is okay. Mullah Nasruddin took it as mine. Mullah Nasruddin was caught by this lady of the neighbor's lady, stealing something from her own wardrobe. And then she caught him and he released her hand, got released from him and ran, and she shouted and people caught him and the case came to the judge. He says, Mullah ji, I have done, did you try to steal? He says, no, I never went to steal. He said, I never did. What? All these people caught you red-handed and you said you never stole? He says, yeah. He said, what do you mean to say you never stole? Didn't you go to his house? Mullah says, I did go. Why did you go? I thought it is my house. Sir, I had little extra drink. Oh, you went to your house. But then did you go to this neighbor's bedroom? Yes, sir, I went to bedroom. I agree, I went to bedroom, not for stealing. Sir, I thought it is my bedroom. Oh, judge was little curious, and in a taunting says, oh, is it? But then did you open the wardrobe of this lady in this socket where there were ornaments? Yes, sir, I did open. Did you take one of them? Yes, sir, I did take. Why did you take it? I thought it's mine. Sir, as I said to you, I went thinking my house, it was my bedroom, and it was my closet, and it was my ornament. Very good, judge said. Then he says, Mullaji, when this lady came and caught you, why did you got frightened and ran for life? Sir, same problem. I thought it is my wife. I thought it is my wife, and I'm very much afraid of her, so I ran for her. Anyway, the point is that may happen to Mullah Nasruddin. But anything beyond body is never construed as my I. External to body, there is no confusion between I and my. But under dermis, the skin, and under the skin, there is a confusion of anything referred as mine is taken as I. Madiyatvena gnatam. All these are taken as mine. and then still it is taken. It's what its attributes, its qualities is somehow taken as technically we call it as superimposed on the self. Its attributes are superimposed on the self, and I become that. Here, I would like to add a note of caution. Okay? What is caution? It is easy to argue out and easy to get away with Vedanta. Somebody they said, "Gay, why are you eating so much of sweet? Do you think you're a sadhu? You should be virakta. Who eats? Atma doesn't eat. Atma. Everything is Atma. Who is eaten is Atma. Eaten is Atma." The fellow asked, "When did you come?" The fellow says, "Who came? I never went. I am everywhere." That is called snobbishness. This is called spiritual snobbery, Vedantic snobbery. Don't keep saying from tomorrow. I've seen some Mahatmas, saying, those brahmacharis in the Rishikesh, this body is hungry. This body. When they asked him at the airport, "Hey, what's your name?" "This body is called by so and so." Immigration fellow said, "No, get lost. Let this body go back." Listen, wise men also will say, "I am hungry." Wise men also will say, "I am black or white." Wise men also will say, "I came this way and I will go there." Wise men will also say, "I seem to be unhappy or agitated." Wise men will also say, I think I do not know these things, etc., etc. But then, wise men do not change the sentences, and by just changing the sentences, you don't become wise. The whole process of knowledge is of cognition, not simply changing the language. When you know, you can still use "my body," the word, but you can still say "I am fat or black or white," but with the awareness that I am not the body. That is called cognitive spacing. The actor wearing the attributes of the king may say, "I am the king." Actor may say, "I am coming." We are coming, we are going. All these statements are, it did not say mind is restless, mind is agitated, mind is angry. You may say, "I am angry," but there is a cognitive space. So don't change the language. As I said, by changing the language, one do not become wise. And by keeping the same language, one do not become ignorant. It is discrimination, viveka. You have to cognitively see. The whole process of self-realization is cognitive. It is not verbal or experiential. It is awareness that you have to develop and see through and through what you are and what you are not. And therefore he says, what is known as madhiyatvena gnatam, what is known as mine, kadapi atma na bhavati. It is never the self. Okay? We'll see that something more in our next class about this. And then after this inquiry, there is a name. Now the real Vedanta. Of course, this was also real Vedanta. But now the nature of the self will be discussed, that we shall look into in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari. Namaste to all of you and see you next week.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaskar, namaskar.
Pranam, Swamiji.
Namaste.